So, Trucking 101. Welcome to school. So, one of the biggest questions and comments and things you guys are always asking me about, all my subscribers and stuff, especially my newer subscribers, people that just come on board, just found me, start asking me immediately, how should I go about getting into trucking? I've been doing this, or I've been doing that, or I am doing something and I want to become a truck driver. How should I go about doing that? Well, first thing I'm going to tell you about trucking is don't ask how. The very first question you need to ask yourself, and you need to be honest about it and open about it, and don't pretend that you want to do it because you want to do it. In other words, look at it from the real life perspective. Don't just say okay, well, I have to do something, so trucking is what I have to do, so therefore it's good for me, and that's what I want to do. That don't mean that's what you want to do. That means that's what you have to do. And if you're doing it because you have to do it, you ain't going to be doing it very long, if at all. Most people that talk to me about, they're doing it because they have to do it, they don't even ever complete getting their CDL. And they've wasted a bunch of their time and more than likely a bunch of their damn money. And now they say, well, trucking sucks and it's bullshit and this and that. Well, said some things about trucking does suck and it is bullshit, but the reality of the situation is that it sucked and didn't work for you because it never was going to. And you lied to yourself trying to convince yourself that it was going to work for you just because you had to do something. That's a possibility. You really didn't need to do something, but trucking wasn't it. So the first question you really need to ask yourself is trucking right for me? Is it really what I want to do? That cow scratching his ass. Do you see that? Now that's trucking. Yeah, you need to sit down and come up, maybe make a list on a piece of paper. Write down pros and cons. And then really start to talk to people and look at things that is a reality in trucking. Like, you're going to be like, see, everybody sees me and I'm home every night and I'm off 2 or sometimes 3 days a week, right? And I make $50,000 to $60,000 a year. And they think, well, 2 weeks after I get my CDL, that's what I'm going to be doing. That's my plan. Well, that ain't going to happen, guys. I hate to break it to you. I hope, like I said, I hope you've already talked to some other people and realized that just isn't reality. And I don't want to hear, well, other people just go over the road because they weren't smart enough to figure out the game. They couldn't figure out how to work the system. Well, no. I'm just telling you, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to be a local truck driver, if you want to haul like what I do, if that's what you want to do, you are going to go over the road. I don't care who you are or what plan you think you have, and you're special. You're not. You're not. Maybe to you might be special, but you ain't special. It ain't no different. This is how it's going to work. You're going to have to go to school, and it's going to take time, and it's going to cost money. And you need to not only plan on, but be okay with being gone from your house for 13 to 18 days at a time. And then only being home for 2 or maybe 3 days. Now, you're going to have to be okay with doing that for at least 8 to 12 months. Okay? If you want to come off the road, I mean, most people's game plan, they don't want to be over the road forever. But 8 to 12 months, then doors can start opening. You can start getting into some places that you wouldn't be able to, and maybe you get lucky and really jump the gun, and at 12 months or 10 months, you really get into a place that you needed 2 years experience just because you just happened to be in the right place at the right time. But you are not going to get my job 3 weeks out of school. I don't care who you are or who you know. So you need to be honest with yourself. Understand that that's what it takes. That is what you are signing up for. My company, for example, requires 2 years of experience, not in this section of trucking, but in trucking. 2 years OTR. And then you have to be a minimum of 25 years old. So at 5 or 6 months out of school, you're not going to tell me you're going to come get a job with my company and do exactly what I do, and you're only going to have to put in that little bit of minimum time. It ain't going to happen. Alright, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to deter you from going to school and getting your CDL, which I think is a great, great thing. I mean, it's a hell of an industry. You get to see the country. You get to make, I don't care what anybody says, you make a pretty decent salary for a limited amount of schooling. You know, take me for example. I didn't graduate high school. Didn't graduate high school. Never went to any kind of college or specialty school. Never did any of that crap. Like I said, I've got a pretty damn good job. I went to trucking school, paid my dues, and now I am reaping the benefits of that. But you cannot look past that. If you're not willing to stay out for at least 2 weeks at a time, or about 2 weeks at a time, and then come home for only 2, sometimes 3 days at a time, and then right back out. You got to look forward to doing that for, like I said, for at least 10 to 12 months, at least. I would plan on doing it for about 1.5 years. And in that period of time, you're not going to make a bunch of money. You're going to get shit on, treated like crap. It's called paying your dues, guys. That's what it's about. Just chalk it up as experience. I mean, look at some of these guys. They spend $30,000 or $50,000 and go to school for 4 years before they get a decent job in the industry that they're going into, right? Well, most of these companies, and that's another thing, a lot of guys will ask me, and I'll have to do another video about which company specifically I would recommend trying. But a lot of these companies will pay you to go through school and training and then give you a job. So not only do you not end up having to pay, a lot of people don't look at it like this too. It did not only cost you $30,000 to $40,000 to get into your industry, they paid you. You get to get on-the-job training in your specific field. You get to travel, you get to see the whole country, and about the time you have 12 or 14 months of experience, right, you've gotten your CDL for free, all of your training, you've gotten to see and experience all kinds of new and cool things, and about that time, you're probably tired of being over the road if you're a family person, right? That's about all you wanted to do anyway. And at the same time, you've got what it takes now, if you kept your nose clean and have a good record, to come get that great job that you can retire from, and a career instead of a job. But that's what it takes, guys. You got to be willing to do what it takes and be honest with yourself. Sit down and think about it for 2 or 3 weeks. Write down a list of things. Because that's 90% of drivers fail because they failed before they ever started. They never were honest with themselves and took the time to understand exactly what they were signing up for. Now, if that's what you do, and you come out the other end thinking, yeah, okay, I can do that. I understand exactly what it is that I'm going to have to put up with and deal with and go through to get to where I know I am going. Then, hey man, trucking's for you. Can't wait to see you out here. I appreciate you watching my videos as always, guys. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a video on who I suggest you go to as you come into the industry. Which companies are best as far as training and schooling and obtaining your CDL. So stay tuned for that video, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for riding along. Missed you guys. I'm glad I'm back. And I will see you. Bye.